Hello, my lovely collective. I've got my beautiful oracle cards ready to give you a message. I was guided to these two decks. They're from the same author, but I've forgotten their name. Let's see what energies want to come through for you all today. And if it resonates, stick around. And if it doesn't, feel free not to take it. Okay, let's get one more. I've already got 4, so we need to get the 5. Because I like uneven numbers when it comes to cards, you know? It's just a little superstition I have. What do we got here? We've got to be fair. There's something where you feel like maybe you're making a decision that is not really being fair, okay? It's not fair to you. It's maybe not fair to the parties around you. Message in a bottle. I guess this is your message today. This is something that you know that you've been ignoring. And I feel like maybe you're kind of blaming the other person or blaming the situation or kind of there's this energy of like, you did this and you need to come to me. And it's kind of like you're putting all of that onus on that person. I'm not saying you're wrong. Please don't shoot the messenger, but that's the energy that's trying to come through. And maybe it's not really all their fault. Maybe you don't want to hear that, but that's kind of what's coming through. We've got serendipity, okay? The energy of this reading feels like something's going to happen where it gets pushed into you making a decision, whether you like it or not. You might send like a wrong text message, or there's going to be a situation where you fumble yourself or bump into someone. It's going to be like a serendipity energy. There's going to be something that you can't even control. And that's kind of what's coming through in this energy. Maybe your meeting was in a way of serendipity, but I feel like the person that you're dealing with is kind of like you're at a distance with this person. There's something going on, but you're being really rigid and you're being asked to be flexible here, okay? Which you're not doing. You're kind of going, no, they know where I am and they did this and they have to say that and they've got to do it in this way. And if they don't do it in this way, it's not the way I'm going to, that's kind of the energy that's coming through. You need to drop that shit if you want this to work out. If you don't, well then keep doing what you're doing. Perfectly fine. All right, so then we've got round and round in circles. Okay, this is a pattern that keeps on happening, and you know that you need to change the pattern, because if you don't want to change the pattern, then nothing's going to happen. But you're in a bit of an ego. One of you is. Both of you are, okay? This feels like one of those situations that, no, you need to say, like, it's your fault and blah. And then the other person's like, no, they need to do it this way. And then guess what? Nothing's doing, because then you keep going round and round in circles and nothing happens, okay? This feels like that. It feels a bit like a repeated cycle of, oh my God, get over it now. To be fair, but I said this, and to be fair, it's your, stop it. Let's see. In perfect harmony. This needs a different type of song, okay? Because the song and the pattern that you're repeating, it's not working. It's not in perfect harmony. It's a perfect headache, and it's perfect pattern is what's going on here. We've got a tall tale, right? It's kind of like you've made this bar so high for them to even climb. Like, you're so high and mighty, both of you are, okay? Both of you are at fault here. If this is your message, you're both at fault. You're both got your wall up here, like, you need to climb the tall, unless you message me this way, unless you say sorry, unless you do it this way, and in the way, and you say it that way. But there's kind of like this whole wall up here, but deep down in your heart, both of you want to actually speak to each other, okay? But both of you are like, no, but blah, blah. And then you're bitching to each other's friends or whatever it is about what the other one did and what they didn't say and how they didn't say and how... This is not working, okay? You both love each other. Whatever this is, friendship, romance, whatever, get over it, okay? Your shit's not working, honestly. So why is this coming through? Let's get one more out of this deck, and then I'm going to dig into it with the tarot, because there's something here that you're not allowing this body and soul. See, both of you, there's this telepathic connection where both of you are actually really missing each other, and there's probably like a soulmate energy. Like if this is your best friend, you're missing their vibe, you're missing their energy, they're missing their input. If this is your soulmate, you're missing them because you're just being pig-headed, all right? That's if you want to actually reconcile with this person. If you don't, then maybe this is not your message. But there's a lot of ego and hurt and stuff where you're not letting shit go, and you're letting that get in the way of reconciliation or the actual truth of what this beautiful connection is. And the thing is that you've both triggered each other in some way that this triggering needs recognition, right? And it's either going to come to a crossroads where this connection comes to an end, or it's like, I feel like both of you want to work this out, right? That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. But you kind of are being a bit too controlling in the way that you're approaching each other. There's way too much ego here. And both of you are hurting. Look at this. We've got the heartbreak card. Okay? What Spirit is saying is let yourselves flow to each other. Okay? Kind of come to each other without a preconceived, energy of, there's like this, both of you need to kind of come together in a way of like a neutrality of like, look, I'm sorry that I angered you and I'm sorry that I angered you. But you've got to drop the energy of like, you owe me this and you need to apologize. Perhaps like turn around. I think one of the best questions that someone ever taught me that really helped me in partnerships, okay, is when I was arguing with my significant other a lot of the time in relationships with romantic partners is, you like when they would get angry at me is like the thing that he would say to me is like, you angered me, you hurt me, this and that, and he'd go off at me, and I would, when I was angry, argue back like everyone else does. But then there was this really good, I've forgotten where I got it from. It was like I think I was watching like some sort of like mindset, because as you all know, I'm really into all of mindset stuff with all the stuff that I do, like NLP and hypnosis. And this person turned around and said, what is it that you thought I said? What is it that you heard? Ask that question to the people in your life. What is it that you heard? Not what you thought. What do you think I meant? What did you hear that I said? And you need to take a step back from that question and let them answer it without you losing your shit. Okay? Because a lot of the time when you actually take that step back and say, what is it that you think I said? What is it that you understood about this situation? Without the anger, without the frustration, without all of the preconceived, all of the frustrations, and actually listen to what they said. And if you see their interpretation, 9 times out of 10, it gives you the perspective of the other person in their shoes, and you can actually really understand where their mind went. And you can work stuff out. But what you both are doing is doing this whole butting of heads and ego thing, and you're not actually talking, you're not actually communicating, and it's not going anywhere. And that's what Spirit's saying here. Let it flow to each other. Let it stop hurting each other here. You're hurting each other. It's like you're both trying to inflict pain on each other, but you both love each other, and it's kind of like you're so heartbroken. Look at all this combativeness, and you feel like, and the more you're doing this, you're actually damaging your relationship more and more, and you're so much more competitive. You're so confused because the thing is, instead of talking, you're both reacting out of wounds, okay? And the reason why you're both reacting out of wounds is because the person that you love the most is the one that makes you hurt the most. If it's a best friend, if it's a significant other, they're the ones that are going to trigger you the most. And that's what this is bringing up in you. But you've got a defense mechanism in both of you. Both of you have this where you both inflict more pain. But that's not because you want to hurt each other. It's because people in the past have hurt you, and that's what you've learnt to do. And you're taking it out on each other, and you're butting heads. And the person that's loving you, that's standing right in front of your face, you're breaking this relationship down even more because of your own patternings that you're not communicating. And this is what you're missing in this relationship. You're blindfolded by your own anger, by your own ego, by your own stuff. Okay? And I'm not saying this person that you're dealing with hasn't hurt you, or if they've betrayed you. If this person's cheated on you, something like that, this is not your message. Okay? This is someone that you love dearly that for some reason you've derailed, or you're kind of missing. You're like ships in the night. You kind of are just missing each other's point. You kind of lost your way from each other. But you have everything within each other to rescue this. We've got the Magician. The Magician's about manifestation and infinity. And he's got all of the tools, the cups, the wands, the swords, and also the pentacles. He has everything within them to create and rectify this, to bring this back into harmony, right? But both of you don't want to see things clearly. You got the blindfold card, you got the 1 and 2 of swords. You're both clashing here because you're both trying to win, but you're not winning anything. You're losing each other. Okay? And that's what you're not realizing here. You're losing a beautiful friendship or relationship because you are being so pig-headed that you need to get out of this hole. It's not about hurting each other. It's about actually coming back together. This person's trying to make you see where your weaknesses are, but you keep blaming them but they're actually trying to make you see them with all of this combativeness. I hope this message has found you well. If you want a reading with me, the links are in my bio.